Thank you for participating today. Use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you're called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation. So now we'll open it up for questions for Coach Stringer. We'll start off with Howard McDowell. Howard, go ahead.
Thank you, and Coach, thank you for taking the time. Um, as you reflect on what Arella Dorantes has meant to this program, I'm wondering if you can place her among the very best who have been part of your teams at Rutgers and just what she has meant over the duration of her career.
No, she's one of the greatest players that I've coached, and I've been fortunate enough to coach a lot of great players, and certainly she is amongst the very best. And her leadership, notwithstanding, is amazing, and the attitude and the willingness to win is second to none.
Next, we'll go to Chris Nowosky from the Rutgers Records.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask, what the difference was in the fourth quarter. I know you were up by double digits near the end of the third quarter.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. What did you say? What is the difference in the first quarter?
What was the difference in the fourth quarter? BYU obviously made a charge and ended up winning.
Uh, Actually, we we just missed shots, and that's as simple as that. I mean, and sometimes it happens. I didn't think that there was anything special that they did. They were predictable in the way that they played. They played hard. I thought that we didn't give up. I thought that our attitude was great, but sometimes you make shots and sometimes you miss them, and sometimes and that's what basically happened here. I thought that we tried to put on a press, and we were there for the most part. And when we did do that, they were folding. And then they've got a few lucky breaks. I mean they as a team, coach has done an outstanding job with the team, and so I'm not taking anything away from them, and we'll wish them well going forward. But at the end of the day, I was just disappointed that we couldn't hit more shots than what we got, and I thought that the game was what you call a little unusual in that it was physical, and you would think that we should be fine, with that in the Big Ten, but it was a change. It was definitely a change, and so that's the way it is.
Just as a reminder, Coach cannot see you, so please state your name and affiliation. So first, now we'll go to James. James, go ahead.
Hi, Vivian. It's James from NJ.com. Do you think the rebounding was an issue for you guys in the second half? I think you finished +3, but you were +9 at halftime. It just seemed like maybe their size kind of got to you guys in the second half.
Well, it shouldn't have gotten us in that. The only big difference is the young lady, the big girl, and she's 6'7", but that wasn't a consistent factor. I don't know if her presence, caused us, but it shouldn't have, because we played against big people and strong people. We just were out of sync. That's as simple as I can give it to you. I for the life of me, I don't know why. We had a number of people that can score and did score and have consistently scored throughout the games that we've had, but weren't able to hit today, and that's the way it was, and I'm sure that a lot of teams that are in the Sweet 16 or Elite Eight, you have some games that you play well, and sometimes you can't, and you just do as much as you possibly can. But I thought there, for example, I thought that for example, Diamond Johnson is an outstanding player who has got a great reputation and a great career going forward. But it was a lot of pressure on her as a point guard. But then again, all of the seniors, had to feel the pressure of that situation, and we didn't handle it as well as I would have liked, and as we would have wanted ourselves to do that.
Sunil, go ahead.
Yes, Coach Stringer, Sunil Sundaraj from Global Women's Sports Radio. Coach, you get that 10-0 run at the end of the second quarter to take the lead, and then third quarter, Takia Mack. Takia was in foul trouble the first half, but that third quarter, 10 points. Can you just talk about that stretch, Coach?
I think we took her out because the calls were upsetting to her, and they were upsetting to us. But more importantly, they were upsetting to her, and we didn't feel that she would maintain and be in control as much of herself as she needed to be, because she really guides everything on the temperament and the other things of our team. And initially we weren't pressing, but then when we stepped it up and we began to press, they were turning the ball over, which we believed that they would. But when we took Takia Mack out, then other people could fill in, but they're not Takia Mack, and they weren't able to press nearly as much. And there were several times when we looked, and there was a couple lineups that we had, and it's like, well, can we really count on the other people specifically to be at the front of that press, and we couldn't count on that. And so we became an ordinary jump shooting team without being able to apply our press as we normally would.
Michelle?
Coach Stringer, this is Michelle Vogel from ESPN.com. Can you address a little bit how the challenges of this season, obviously you guys had to deal with a lengthy COVID pause, what that was like also for you personally, and does any of that affect going forward? How maybe difficult this season has been for you?
Well, it's been extremely difficult for everybody, and I don't count myself to be an exception. I'm fortunate because I have a daughter at home who continues to need care. So we're very concerned about the COVID situation. A number of our players, quite honestly, they were. It was a mess. Let me just say it like this. It was rough. And so I'm glad that, I'm hoping that we can get through the end of the summer, but a lot of our players were just, really upset. And look at the amount of time that we actually have spent not playing basketball. And quite frankly, there's a number of things that have happened that aren't worthwhile me talking about it now, but that have nothing to do with basketball per se. Let me say this. That have nothing to do with basketball. And when we deal with certain things, then, it creates we can't afford, at this level, you can't afford to do anything but focus on the game at hand. And everyone needs to be there and focusing on that. But there were things that were happening that were difficult, truly difficult. And it takes time from our preparation as a team to ask for that level of maturity from everybody. And keep in mind that we're dealing with 17, 18, 19-year-olds that continue to need to grow up. And they've done an incredible job so far, but we've got to continue to do that. And we will miss greatly the support and the leadership of our seniors who have been just really special, second to none. And that's more than I could say about any other team, especially the seniors. They've been incredible, and we're grateful and thankful that we've been able to go through this year, because had it not been for those guys, we wouldn't have made it.
Okay, we'll go to Melanie.
Hey Coach, Melanie Anzide with The Record and NorthJersey.com. Kind of piggybacking off of that last question. It's been an unusual season, and with COVID and everything that the team has had to go through, and it's sort of been 2 years till this game. So what does that say about the team and their ability to push through this adversity and still make it this far despite all of that?
Well, I think that what you're going to find is those that are mature enough, and you've got enough of them that are mature enough, that they will be able to persevere. And then you have a lot that want to persevere, but for whatever reason, found it extremely difficult to be able to handle all that. And that's the truth. And that's where I'm sure that a lot of teams that you'll talk to is going to experience the same thing if they haven't already, and which we have. But it's amazing because even toward the end, we were still dealing with things that took us away from the focus that we needed to have in those games. But that's not an excuse, that's a fact, and that's what most of the time, is happening with most everyone.
All right, Coach, your final question from Pepper. Pepper, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Pepper Percy with the Next. I know this wasn't the outcome you were looking for, but what can you take from this season to build for next season?
Boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of things that I would take from this season to build for the next season, honestly. Because the Scarlet Knights, this is not a new thing to the Scarlet Knights. We've reached Elite Eights, Final Fours, and we've done those things. But what I do know is that there's a tremendous amount of maturity that it takes, and I think that the young people today, going forward, we've got to be responsible and accepting of our responsibility, and when we do things, to do it. But the concern is that young people today have got to accept responsibility a little bit more, and that's a fact, and that's what we will intend to grow on with our new group of young people, because I don't have the senior group that can lead us in the right direction as we have had this entire year. So going forward, we as coaches have got to step up and do our best, to continue to lead, and then rely on the young people, and that's the juniors and the seniors, to assume and accept responsibilities, and that's something. Let me just say it like this: that's something that a lot of teams and coaches are going to have to deal with. Honestly, that's what they're going to have to deal with, and we've often talked about, who can we count on to lead us, and we're happy with a lot of things that have been happening. And yet the young people have been dealing with a lot of things, a lot of stresses, in addition to their books and all that. But we just need a lot more maturity, and we're hoping to get that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach, for your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you. You're going to talk to Arella? Go ahead.
We will now be joined momentarily by Arella Dorantes. Please use this time to raise or lower your hand as necessary.
Hello?
Up, you're there. So we'll start with Howard McDowell. Howard, go ahead.
Arella, Howard McDowell with the Next. Congratulations on a terrific career. As you look at what's ahead for you and what's next, I'm wondering what's the one thing more than any other that you will take from your time with Coach Stringer and your time at Rutgers into the WNBA?
Um, I would have to say, just learning to just be a fighter, no matter the situation, the circumstance, what odds are against you. Just continuing to be a fighter, continue to be a strong woman, and believe in yourself. Never doubt yourself. I think that's going to be major for me at the next level because, as you can see, it doesn't get easier from here. So you're going to have confidence. You're going to have some strength and a strong-willed mental mindset. And I've learned all of that through, battling with these ladies and the staff for 4 years.
Bruce?
Hey, Arella, it's Bruce Beck from WNBC TV.
Hey.
Tremendous effort today, by the way, Arella.
Thank you.
How disappointing is this loss, considering that all of the sacrifice you and your teammates made this year during unprecedented time?
It hurts. It definitely hurts. Sorry, excuse me. It hurts, but I know everything happens for a reason, and I'm gonna take my time to, be sad about it now, in the moment, because it hurts in the moment, but I know there's more for me, and I have to have quick memory. There's other things I have to prepare for. There's other things my team has to prepare for, and I'm still a leader. I'm not gone yet, so I have to show them that you gotta have quick memory in these moments. Feel the pain and use it as motivation to get through your next obstacle.
Leader this season.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear anything.
Sorry, Pepper Percy with the Next. I know this was a really challenging season for many reasons, and you mentioned just now being a leader for your team. So, what have you learned about yourself as a leader this season?
That's a great question. I've learned that everything's not going to go perfect in this journey. I learned that sometimes you got to be a servant before you can serve. I learned that a lot this year. And that's one of the reasons I came back to serve, to just pass on as much information and just give as much as I can to these young ladies, because they have something special that they can achieve the next couple of years if they stay focused. And I know I have the experience to help them withstand all the obstacles that are going to come by them. So I learned just to give as much as I can and plant as many seeds as I can and not regret it.
James?
Hey, Arella, it's James Scratch from NCAA.com. I guess with the long layoff and then the win streak and then the disappointment here, is it kind of hard to know what this team was? It almost feels like you guys never were fully in stride for a season.
Yeah, because you go through a lot when you're battling in the summer. You learn each other, you find chemistry, you're bonding off the court. It's kind of hard in these moments because, we have so many restrictions. It's hard to see each other all the time. And then that long pause in the end was just like the icing on the cake, where you feel like everything's just stacked against you. And I know we all went through a lot of things personally, so it's really hard, to get through that stuff. I think. Do I think it would have been different if we didn't have that pause? I'm not sure, because you never know what can happen, how those games were going to go, if we would have continued to slump or we would have just rose above it. But everything happens for a reason. I thought it brought us closer, so I wasn't upset with the pause. I thought it brought us closer together as a team, and we kind of got what we missed in the summer back, a little part of it. But, either way, I'm still proud of this group. I told them at the end of the game, no matter what happens, I love you guys, and whatever happens, we're still a team.
Sunil?
Arella, Sunil Sundaraj from Global Women's Sports Radio. Congrats on just a tremendous career, there at Rutgers. I had to ask you, I mean, you put this team on your back today, 30 points. Just talk about playing, with Takia and, Mael, the other two seniors, and then just the younger players growing up. I mean, you saw Diamond Johnson have absolutely, fantastic freshman year. I mean, Liz Martino hits that, big three, said to cut it to 2 points. I just had to ask you, I know it's tough, in the moment, but just, again, this group, this collective group that you've played with.
Like I said, this group is special, and I don't think our wins and losses show that. I don't think that this game showed that. I'm just a player that I don't want to lose. I hate to lose. And I play with, it's great playing with players that hate to lose too. Takia, I don't, it's hard to even explain, how it was playing with her for 4 years, because we just have a special relationship, and I'm gonna carry that with me for the rest of my life. I'm gonna carry that with me for the rest of my life. It was great playing with Diamond, and Liz is very special to me too, because I know the potential she has, and I'm gonna keep pushing her every day so she can reach it. And I think Diamond's gonna be fine. And whether those two seniors, Mael and Takia, decide to come back or they decide to move on with their lives, it was a blessing playing with them.
All right, final question, Gideon Fox. Gideon, go ahead.
Hi, Arella. Gideon from the Daily Targum. You've had such a prolific career at Rutgers. You've done so much for this team and for this school. So I was just wondering how you want to be remembered. What do you want your legacy to be here at Rutgers?
Whew. That's a great question. That threw me off. The word legacy is just it's special to me, because I feel like everybody they want to leave a mark. I know I came in from a different program, but Rutgers is so special to me. So special to me, and I didn't realize it as a young lady coming out of high school, but honestly, every road led to Rutgers, and I was here for a reason. Many know I grew up in 15 minutes away from Center Riches. Sue Wicks, a Rutgers legend. My mom played with Sue Wicks. I grew up going to almost every Liberty game, watching Cappy play before I even knew she was from playing at Rutgers. But it's like every road led back to here, and I'm just so happy that I got to finish my career here. Play for Coach Stringer, play with Coach Eatman, play with these group of girls, and just experience the sisterhood and the unity they have here, because it's special. It's super special. And I think, just the word legacy, I just hope Rutgers fans just know I gave it everything I got. And I'm going to continue that.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
That's it for this post-game news conference. A recording of this press conference will be posted in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaabaritone.com. For us.